Ooh, ooey, ooey, ooh. Welcome back to my show. Have I told you the one about? Look at the magic of that. I made a diorama by finding material in a drawer and pinning it and putting a box underneath. Wow! Who knew that it was so easy to make things look a little bit better? I'm really excited. A little house, right? Okay, so who cares about all that shit? Who's my imaginary friend today? Let's do the countdown, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, poof! It's Emily!
Hi.
Hi, Emily.
Hello.
Welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. Are you kidding? Okay, so you've prepared, I've heard this story. You've prepared one of my favorite stories. I love this story. Do you want to send it through the Magic Story portal? It's empty. See, look, I
I
looked
sure
inside.
do.
There's nothing in there. Okay, you send it through the Magic Story portal.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Wow, good job. Usually I get an electric shock. That was very gentle. You've got some
Thank you.
good witchy magic.
Thank
Your
you.
story is The Bathroom Ghost.
Mhm.
Okay, well, tell me all about it.
Okay, so this story happens in Kingston, Ontario. It's not very long ago. We're at about 2014 or 2015, and I was in Kingston doing my PhD at Queen's University.
That's a little plug there.
I mean, sure.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
yeah,
Yes. Girlfriend, you
yeah,
got
all
a
right.
PhD. We're gonna high five that shit.
Um, so it was the house that features very prominently in this story is we believe to be the oldest standing residence in Kingston, Ontario. So it's not the oldest building,
Right.
but it is, as far as we know, the oldest standing residence. It's built
Wow.
in 1812.
Wow. And you lived in this
Yeah,
house?
yeah, I lived in that house. Yeah,
Wow. That's
and it
cool.
was beautiful. I loved it. I loved that house. Yeah.
Okay, what kind of house was it?
Well, so I at one point knew a lot more about early 19th century architecture in Eastern Ontario.
Well, really, I'm
It
just asking, does it have a door and how many bedrooms?
has a door, so there's a suite upstairs, which is the one that I lived in with my roommate Sam
Okay.
and the dog Boo. All names have
Boo?
been changed. Boo.
Oh, boo.
All names have been changed for ghost anonymity.
Okay.
And then there was a big suite downstairs, which was a kind of part-time family. So a couple and then their kids would stay part-time with them downstairs. So
Okay.
two levels, two sort of suites.
Right.
Yeah, big
Hardwood
beautiful old house.
floors. Was it a stone
Hardwood
house?
floors. It was stone construction, but it was whitewashed.
Mm.
Like if you've seen Crimson Peak, the movie,
Of course I have.
the very yeah, well, the very beginning of it is set in what's supposed to be old like Buffalo, New York, and they filmed that portion in Kingston,
Okay.
and filled the streets with like mud basically to mimic like what was supposed to be, I guess, early 19th century or late 19th century, I guess, streets.
I love it.
And one of the streets is my street.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
this is the house that will feature very prominently. Um, do you need any other background information?
Well, no, I just like knowing. I like having a visual because when you
Yeah,
say house, it means something different to people in California than it does to people in Kingston. I know,
yeah. I mean,
I know
the
Kingston
stuff
because
like the
it's an hour and a half
but
away, so I know a lot of those houses are stone.
yeah, it is a stone house. It's not those. It's not the really like high peaked limestones.
Okay.
Those are either older or there's older and there's newer versions that are those limestones. It looks quite modest from the outside, but it is super old.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Kingston, Ontario. This house is about 200 years old, and this is a ghost story. So
I gathered
the
that from the title. It's such a
the ghosty
giveaway.
things. I gave it away. I gave it away. The ghosty things started happening like immediately when we moved in. My roommate Sam, who's still a really really dear friend, she moved in a few months before me, and it was always kind of at the the punctuation moment of a new person moving to the house that something weird happened. So the weird thing that happened when Sam moved in was that she was in the bathroom and she was piling up toilet paper, unloading all of the new necessary things that you need when you move into a house. And it was her and Boo both in the bathroom.
Back when people had toilet paper.
Exactly. We had toilet paper to waste, to throw out the window back then. And it was also unusual that Boo would even be in the bathroom. He just didn't didn't really like the bathroom. But the two of them were standing in there, and Sarah. I've got permission from Sam to tell this story.
Sam, Sarah, George, Charles, Boo, blah.
Boo. Well, she put a brand new roll of toilet paper on the toilet paper holder, and then she was kind of facing it, and she watched it, this brand new roll, start to unravel itself, and then unravel all the way down to the cardboard center, all on its own.
And there was no vent blowing?
There was no vent blowing. In fact, it's one of those old bathrooms that the toilet is in kind of its own little closet.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a vent to the outside, but there's no fan in the toilet room. Yeah. It started from the very beginning all the way down to the end. That
is amazing.
It was amazing. That was the very first thing. Stuff was mostly quiet. Then between her moving in and me moving in, the thing that happened when I moved in, it was maybe the second or maybe even the first day that I lived there, is I went to go take a shower, and in this old gorgeous house, the shower was kind of rigged up the side of a clawfoot tub. And with a clawfoot tub, because it's sort of back-fitted showers, things like, did you turn off the shower before you got out? Because if you pull back the curtains, the water goes everywhere, right? So Yeah. So I had really, really freshly gotten out of the shower, and I was standing in the living room, literally in a towel. And Sam was there, and Boo was there. So all of the living things in the house were in the living room. And then we hear this noise in the bathroom at first. And I am like, that's weird. And I go back into the bathroom, and the shower is fully on, just completely on. And the curtains are back, so the water's going everywhere, and the water's at full strength.
Yeah, and how could you possibly get out of the shower and put a towel around yourself and not notice that?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The other thing that was important is that to turn that shower on, you would turn the handles up. So it's not it could have been a weird gravity thing to turn on that shower. You actually have to kind of heftily shove the thing up to turn it. Yeah.
Okay, I love this.
So those were, I know, those are the move-in incidents. For most of the time that we were there, it was just kind of the kind of creepy old house stuff that you can explain. So it was things say for 24 hours, one of the taps wouldn't turn off.
Okay.
Right? But you're okay, it's super old plumbing, I don't know, maybe there was a temperature change and something expanded and it wasn't taking, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know physics, but that might happen to a tap. Or weird kind of whistly wind noises in the bathroom. But it's again, it's an old house, you get those weird creaky noises. We would also get footsteps, but there was a portion of the downstairs suite that they had a storage room or something upstairs. So it was okay, there's footsteps, but it could be the downstairs neighbors kind of getting something out of the storage.
Right.
So all
and
of
when
those
you
things
first
that
move,
were explainable.
Yeah, when you first move in and weird things happen, you're weird things happen.
Weird things happen, and you just get used to it. And it's not the first time that I lived in an old house, and known how sound can travel and that kind of thing. So almost everything was explainable in the day-to-day things.
Right.
But one thing that was a little bit weird is Sam had her her sister-in-law and her nieces over.
Okay.
I was away, and she had her sister-in-law and her nieces over, and she had been just kind of casually telling them about the bathroom ghost, as we had now come to affectionately call it. And her 7-year-old niece had just come back from the bathroom, which might have been the occasion for telling them about the bathroom ghost. And the 7-year-old said, "Oh yeah, Doug."
What did that mean?
Well, I mean, the way the 7-year-old was presenting it was that, like, she'd met the bathroom ghost. She just, like, knew the bathroom ghost's name.
You'll lock that kid in her bedroom for the night.
Yeah, yeah. So Doug now had a name. The rest of the story, most of it but actually before the remainder of the story, one important thing happened, which was we got mice.
Oh, sorry, you cut out a little. One thing happened. What?
We got mice.
Oh.
Which is normal. It's
Yeah.
a 200-year-old house.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of, like, mouse doorways.
Mm.
And it was annoying, but, like, once we got mice, like, Sam started pestering the landlord, who was actually now a new landlord. So our brand new landlord started saying, you know, you really have to get an exterminator. Like, we can't be, like, living here with mice, even if it is, like, prone to mouse infestation. While we had mice, I actually moved out. I moved to Toronto. Not because of the mice. It was just happening at the same time. Right after I moved to Toronto, something happened, like some kind of disagreement happened with the downstairs neighbor and the new landlord.
Okay.
And it was just, like, I think just kind of a low level disagreement that ended up resulting in, like, you know, that landlord excuse where you're like, oh, one of my family members is going to move into my property, so you have to leave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so the downstairs neighbors moved out, and they took their cat with them. So we have a mouse problem upstairs, and the downstairs neighbors just took their cat with them.
Right.
And despite my family is going to move into the downstairs suites, reason for them moving out, it ended up being that downstairs suite actually stayed empty for months. And so there's one, like, really surefire way of getting rid of your mouse problem, and that is to get a rat problem.
Jesus. Oh, no.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, like, kind of a thing that happens in old houses, but by this point, Sam is really annoyed. I'm really annoyed because I'm kind of coming back and forth and staying on the couch because I still have to come and see my supervisor in Kingston. So I'm actually in the house a lot, even though I'm not moving there or living there. And so the fact that Sam feels like she's constantly having to pester the landlord to get an exterminator is like, come on, bud. Like, maybe you're a first-time property owner. Kingston is kind of notorious for, like, slumlords and, like, irresponsible property management in general.
Right.
Yeah, we're pretty annoyed. So Sam decides to take this into her own hands. And she goes to the SPCA and she gets a very sweet little mouser, little cat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's call that cat something. Mouser. We could just call the cat Mouser.
Let's call the cat Mouser.
Yeah.
The thing is that, like, people know my roommate by her animals. Like, they know people know
she's famous Kingston animal. Names. Yeah.
So Mouser is a great Mouser. Is, like, super active in, like, hunting down the rats. Does a really good job. But even though it's, like, really clear that that the cat is, like, definitely doing her job, like, the rat problem just isn't, like, it's just not going away.
Right.
And so Sam, like, keeps pestering the landlord, keeps being like, what are you gonna do about this? So after, like, I think even a solid winter of this, maybe into the spring, a few things happen.
So, can you tell me how she knows? Like, has she seen the rats?
Keeps seeing droppings, and you can hear them in the walls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which actually is an important detail. Thank you. Yeah, you can hear them in the walls.
Right.
So we're coming into the spring.
That's awful. That sound,
it's awful.
right? That there's some creature like is trying to crawl through the wall to bite your face off. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and there were definitely rats. Like the rats aren't pretend. Like one of the times that I stayed there, I left chocolate almonds in my purse.
Yeah.
And I heard something, definitely a rat, just like knock over my purse and start chewing at my chocolate almonds. I turned on the light and I didn't catch the rat, but I did like pick up my almonds and saw all the like tooth marks and stuff in them, and I had to throw them out.
That is
really sad.
Yes, that's very sad. I know how much you like your chocolate.
I do really love chocolate.
That is not a friendly rat thing to do.
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Okay, so then a few things, we're getting to this is the climax of the story here, because a few things happen in quite close succession.
I can feel it. I can feel that we're getting close. I'm starting to get the willies.
Yeah. So you need to think of like a timeline of about 3 weeks of the following things happening.
Okay.
The first thing that happens is that the rat droppings disappeared.
Great.
But just the droppings. The sounds in the walls are still there. Like the sounds in the walls are still like scratching, and so Sam is just convinced and still bugging the landlord, like, what's going on here?
Right.
Like you have to like it's clearly still happening because you can still hear them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing is that the droppings disappeared, but the sounds stay. The second thing that happens is that Sam gets one of those, those night terror dreams where you like see a shadowy figure at the end of your bed.
Oh, I've had that. I told a story of that.
Yeah, and like people get those, right? Like that's kind of like one of the, like, it's a common hallucination.
Right.
But so she saw one of those, and she said she just turned it over, and just like started talking to herself, like, it's nothing, go back to sleep. People see these things all the time. Like, it's nothing, go back to sleep. Just kind of talked herself down.
Right.
And then the third thing that happened,
and she's living alone.
She's living alone. She's living alone with the dog and the cat.
With the dog and the cat.
The third thing that happens is when her boyfriend, who doesn't. Oh, sorry. I should correct myself. She did have a roommate, but the roommate was seeing someone often enough that he was barely ever there.
Okay.
Yeah. So the third thing that happened is so her boyfriend was staying over. Her boyfriend Paul.
Okay.
And it's the middle of the night, and they're asleep, and Paul like wakes up, like sits up, like bolt upright, and turns to Sam and is like, what is it? And she's like, I don't know. Like, what is it? He's like, what do you want? And she said, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean, what do I want? And then Paul says that he heard someone whispering out here.
Oh, you cut out
like yell whispering.
Yell whispering. His name?
Whispering super loud into his ear so that it woke him up, like Paul. And that's why he woke up and turned around and was like, what? Like, what is it? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
I know. So it felt kind of like things were sort of cosmically ramping up, but then all of a sudden, everything kind of stops. Like the rat sounds stop. There's no like further night terrors. There's none of that.
Okay.
And it just kind of stops dead. And Sam is talking to the landlord like in person about 2 weeks later.
Okay.
And the landlord says, how's the rodent problem? Like, how's the rat problem? And Sam says, oh, actually, like about 2 weeks, like everything stopped. Like, I don't hear them anymore. And he said, oh, 2 weeks ago. It's like, yeah, 2 weeks ago. And he's kind of like pressing her to say, like, what did anything else happen 2 weeks ago? Like, is anything else going on? Like he's sort of like keeps asking questions like as though he doesn't want to ask an actual question, but just wants to see what information that she offers.
Right.
And she said, well, I guess.
Oh, hang on. You're breaking up again. What? My imaginary friend connection is fuzzy.
Oh no. Should I repeat I'm repeating the conversation of the landlord.
Yeah, well, I got all the landlord stuff, and then she says, what?
She says, well, we were just kind of having like weird, bad dreams all around the same time. And that's about it. Like, how do you say to your landlord, like, we keep getting these weird night hallucinations?
Right.
You know? And he's being so kind of pressing and insistent about it that she said, well, what happened? Like, he keeps asking, like, did anything else weird happen? She's like, well, why? What happened? And he finally says, well, about the same time you're talking.
Oh, shit. Who's that? Oh, Jesus.
About a cleaning lady. Who's like
hang on. Somebody tried to call me through my imaginary friend line.
Oh, no.
How's that even possible? Jesus, Mary, fuck. Okay, well, it's exciting. This is why it's a live moment, right? Because anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
So they were having dreams, and 2 weeks ago, he says he did what?
So he said about 2 weeks ago on the same timeline, they had a family friend cleaning the downstairs suite. Remember that this suite has been empty for
months. Yeah.
Months. It's been empty for months. So their family friend was in cleaning the downstairs suite, and something happened that scared her so much that she insisted that they get an exorcist. And they did.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When all the noises stopped.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you know what happened to that cleaning lady?
I don't know what happened to the cleaning lady because it's kind of like it's kind of a two removes even from Sam, right? We have no idea what happened to her. We only know that she insisted on an exorcist and they got one.
Wow. Oh my God, That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then nothing else, there was no other incidences after that.
There was absolutely nothing else after that. Nothing.
Bye-bye, Doug the bathroom ghost. See you later, Spectre.
After talking about it for a while, we kind of thought that like there must have been two ghosts.
Oh, how come?
Because, well, we kind of liked Doug.
Oh, I see.
We sort of thought that maybe Doug was like the ghost of a cat.
I see.
And that maybe there was a second ghost that was an evil ghost.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I think that really like the thing we needed to get rid of was the evil ghost.
Right.
But it meant that Doug went too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really great story. True story, right?
True story, yeah.
True story. Ghosts are real, people. If you have a ghost story, you could come on my show. There's nothing. The only thing better than a ghost story is a love story. You got a ghost story that's also a love story, I'll pay you for it. Emily, I love that story. Thanks for sharing this. Do you want to hang out for a minute? I have to do a few little bits of business.
Yeah, I'd love to.
I forgot that you had coincidentally sent me a photo the other day. You sent me a selfie. And yesterday I said, oh my God, nobody sends me selfies anymore. I don't have selfies. So today I'm showing your selfie on your Storytime show. Oh, there's a lot of reflection. Look, there's Emily and her sweetheart of a man. And if we back up, we can see me better. But there's a weird glare. Anyways, that's good enough. Yeah, you saw that. Oh, here. I need to get out of the frame. You could take your selfie with Emily and send it in. Hey, look at that. Wow. Who's got a better smile? Nobody. If you want to send me emails or selfies, you can find an address to send them to me through michaelvsmith.com, my website. You can like this page. Thanks for the people who already liked it. You can share any old story you want on any old social media you want. Emily's going to share it because she's in digital humanities. She knows how to do that shit. And you can subscribe to my channel. You can also click the notification bell, and it'll tell you when we're going live, which is 8 p.m. PST every goddamn night. So there you go. Emily, you want to blow a kiss out to the audience with me?
Yes.
Okay. Mwah. Okay, bye people. I love you. See you later. Thanks for coming to watch my show. Have I told you the one about? Ba, 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 ba.